Hello again, marketers. Okay, today we're taking a look at one of my favorite topics, going through and taking a look at the consumer decision-making journey. This is a really fun concept and one we can all really relate to. I want you to think about the last really big purchase you might have made, whether it was a computer or perhaps a car or something even maybe perhaps more expensive like a house. Think about what the process was that you went through when you were going through and actually buying that particular item. Did you just suddenly see an ad and go out and buy it? Probably not. In most cases, people usually think about those kind of purchases, especially really big ones, right, in more detail. And there's a longer process people go through where they first learn about, think about, and then decide to actually go through and buy something. There's also stages that happen afterwards as well, too. So we can take this example again of thinking about buying a car. It's a really fun thing to go through and do, even if it's used as opposed to new. It's still exciting to try out that new car and go through that experience about going and thinking about what it is you want and what you can afford and what kind of car you want to have for the next while. So we can go through and begin mapping out these different stages in this Google Sheet. So here we've got this very first cell highlighted. We're going to put in here either awareness or initial consideration. And we're doing this because of the fact this is the very beginning potentially for some people who've never actually heard about your product or service. And they're going to be people who first have to actually learn about the fact that you even exist before they can begin actually thinking about if they want to go through and actually buy from you. For people who are aware of you, you still have to go through and think about getting them to actually recognize that they want to go through and actually buy a product now. So in terms of building awareness or getting us to begin thinking about buying a new car, think about what it is that advertisers can actually do to make you want to go buy that new car. Yes, they could go destroy your car or steal it, but all likelihood they're not going to go through and do that because it's illegal. So thinking about what types of ads are going to be ones that get you to go through and begin thinking about buying a new car. Usually it's the types of ads that are very glitzy. Things like rich video ads you see on TV or on the internet that show the fast car speeding through the mountains, people looking really cool, the car looking really cool and sexy as well too, right? At this stage, a lot of visuals are helpful because you're trying to arouse the desire in you as a consumer to begin thinking about buying a new car. Right, so it's often people being persuaded that they feel that they deserve something, or they're entitled to it, or perhaps they just want to go buy something because it's so cool, right? But the marketer really has to work hard to have really cool images of cars doing neat things and looking amazing to make you want to consider going and buying one. The next stage in the purchase journey is going to be evaluation. So assuming that the marketer's caught your attention and the car company has convinced you to at least begin looking at a new car, right? The next stage is you're going to go through and you're going to evaluate this idea in more detail. You're going to take a look probably at the website and other places trying to learn more about this particular car. The next stage in the purchase journey is going to be purchase, going through and actually buying the car. So we can add this one in. What's interesting as well is that there's another stage after this, which is really important in some cases, and that is the stage called consume. By consume, we're referring to people actually going through and using the product. In some cases, we see people actually go through and buy stuff that they never actually use, like all the people who sign up for gym memberships right before New Year's and go for a month and then never go back to the gym again. It might seem like that's actually a good idea as a marketer, but in reality, it's not. If people aren't actually using your product, how likely are they to come back and renew whenever their contract comes up? So if you think about it, if you're somebody who sells an SUV, if people buy your SUV but then never actually take it off-road, how likely are they going to be to want to go and buy an SUV the next time they're looking for a car? Right? So really getting them to go through and use your product is very important. After consume, we want to go through and actually have the consumers then tell all of their friends and family about how much they love the car. This is going to be advocacy. The final stage is going to be bonding. The goal here is to go through and have your consumer really have a strong connection to you as a brand or as a company so that they want to come back and buy from you the next time they want to buy that product again.